It's the Green Rush Nation podcast. I just had the bluest dream that you've ever seen, and I can't believe that shit was green, cause it hit so clean, and my history is a mystery. I don't give a fuck, I just hit the tree on the 5th degree. We don't pit for free. If you don't got 5 shit, get up and leave. It's the Green Rush Nation podcast. Yo, what's going on, guys? We're back with another episode of the Green Rush Nation podcast. Today, we have a very special guest, someone who I can't stop running into, and I see their brand everywhere, honestly. It's our friend Sammy, the creative director of Miss Scoops. How you doing? We appreciate you coming out.
Hey, guys. How are you today? Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Of course. How are the travels in? I know you're not the closest, but you trekked out here.
Yeah, no, not so bad, you know. Perfect. Slide through, jump in the fast lane.
There you
Make
go.
it happen, my dude.
Beautiful, beautiful. So here on the Green Rush Nation podcast, we don't want to just know about your business ventures and your great brand. We want to know a little bit about you. I know you a little bit, so I know that you're from where I'm from. You're from New York. Things are a little bit different over there. But do you remember your first encounter with marijuana, and how did you smoke it?
I was young, man. Funny enough, I had an older brother, so it got slipped to me.
Okay.
And it actually came pre-rolled up for me. This is before the day of the pre-rolls.
So that's too easy.
Yeah, it was too easy. I had it. We smoked it quick, and I was like, this works.
There you go.
Yeah, I liked it. Ever since then, that's all it was for me.
How far apart were you and your brother?
6 years.
Okay, so he's a little bit older than you.
Yeah, for sure.
And how old were you when you first smoked?
I was like 13,
okay.
14 years old.
So you're pretty young.
Yeah. My brother was like, he was like right on that 18, 19 years old probably.
Gotcha. That's when I started.
Yeah.
But it was around me since I was like 10.
Yeah,
all my friends were smoking. I was like, my mom had me believing though that like it was the devil's lettuce. So I'm like, all right, yeah, you guys are gonna fucking don't do that, you know. But then I realized, nah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, no. Every situation I've ever had with cannabis has been pleasant for me. So
good.
I never really liked alcohol. I never did, you know what I mean, ventured into other drugs.
Okay.
Weed was for me. I knew that. I figured it out early, thank God, you know. And from there, I just kind of stuck to that.
Beautiful. And that's the best one to go with, because anything else, like honestly, drinking, I didn't make the best decisions sometimes, you know. But on weed, worst thing that ever happened to me was I passed out and maybe ate a little bit too much, you know. I
got a lot of shit for it though, definitely. I was I was the one that would show up wherever smelling like weed. Never really cared.
Okay.
I was definitely more open than most.
Kush was your cologne?
Yeah, Kush was definitely my cologne. I still have that problem sometimes.
Hey,
I'll be dressed nice, but I'll be...
Now I don't give a fuck, bro.
Yeah, me neither.
If you're going to judge me for it, hey, because that gives me the upper hand. Because now if you think I'm stupid, even better.
Funny enough, my girl, my girl will get like paranoid. She'll be like, oh man, I think these people think we smell like weed.
Yeah.
They don't give a fuck.
They don't give a fuck.
They don't give a fuck. And even if they do, who cares?
Yeah.
Come on.
And back in the day, like, I used to be so dumb and naive that, like, you'd be with all your boys smoking, and then you'd fucking spray some shit. You're like, yo, do we smell it? Yeah, we definitely fucking reek, bro.
You smell worse now, actually. It brings it out.
Yep.
Funny enough, yeah, definitely.
Bro, I'll never forget. This was like when I first started smoking. I used to get super high. I don't get that high anymore, but I'll never forget. I think it was that movie Gravity came out. Do you remember that movie?
Yeah.
And the opening scene of it is literally just silence. It's just space. They're in space. There's nothing happening. And right before we went in, it was me and two of my boys were fucking ripping the bong. And we get high as shit. And we go inside, and the opening scene is space, and there's nothing, no one else talking. All of a sudden, my one friend just starts giggling. I'm like, yo, what the fuck is wrong with you, bro? And then before you know it, all three of us are just fucking cracking up in the front of this movie theater. I'm like, yo, we got to leave, bro. We got to leave.
That's a good one.
That was like, yeah, those were the times that like I miss, because that shit will never happen again, you know?
Sometimes I feel like this younger generation kind of gets tricked out of that now. So we have these packs that are in the industry, and they look great, they smell great, but there's no punch. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I feel back in my day when we were coming up, it didn't matter. It could be Mexican brick weed, bro. Yeah. And you would smoke it, and you would be fucking tore.
Faded.
Yeah, faded. And now I feel like these kids, it's either a pen that they get, so it's synthetic pretty much, broken down extract, or it's watered down genetics that are mass produced. Yeah. So I feel like they kind of get skimped on that
for sure
current experience.
And by the time it gets to fucking where we were from the East Coast, bro.
Oh, dude, yeah.
It's like any other drug, bro.
Definitely.
You know? You're getting the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah, for sure. You're not getting the fresh cut.
Definitely not.
Definitely not. That travels rough on it.
Exactly. Unless you know someone, you know. And luckily for me, I was always able to say, like, after a certain point that I smoke California weed, you know. So it was good. It was good.
See, I also had really good experiences because I would go up to New York City a lot.
Okay.
And we would come across haze and real sour.
Yep.
And back then, bro, It went ridiculous. It didn't even need to be from California. I almost preferred having like a real silver haze over having.
You couldn't even keep that shit in your pocket.
You
bro.
couldn't, dude.
Yeah.
It would literally, that's how it would be.
Bro.
Yeah, if you brought it in somewhere, bro, you would blow the whole room.
Well, that's because it's not like a jar we were getting. We were getting dime bags or fucking
it was in a little piece of plastic. So might as
exactly.
well just been a loose nug in your pocket, pretty much, for sure.
But those were the days, bro. But that's why, like, I didn't even realize this was going on out here, bro. You know, we had our own world over there, and I was just like naive to it. Everyone who had a brand that I knew of, I was like, God damn, that's Walmart. You know?
I remember the first time I ever ventured outside of New York, I went to Colorado first.
Okay.
And I went on a ski vacation with me and my girl.
Fire.
And I went into a store and I seen it and I was like, holy fuck, dude. I was like, this is it.
Yeah.
This is the future. And this is like in the beginning where I remember when it first became legal in Denver. And I seen it, and it blew my mind. I remember back then, like, the genetics were, like, Chem Dog. Shit like that, dude. Like, real, like, you know what I mean?
I always heard Colorado had great weed as well. Like, that was one thing. I was a skier, too, so I was like, damn, I would love to go to Colorado, ski, and fucking smoke, you know?
I've had Colorado, obviously, and back then, when I was coming from New York, when I was growing up, I don't know how it was for you. It was either, when you would call and try to get weed, it was either they had weed or they didn't have weed.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, oh,
there's a drought, bro. What the fuck you mean there's a drought, bro?
There was no, do you have runs?
Yeah.
It was like, do you have weed or not? You know what I mean? And when I get there, I'm going to decide if I want it or not. There was no name usually. It was just, I either got good weed or I don't.
Of course. I had a couple people I hit up, depending on how much money I had. Yeah, all right. I got $40. So what do you got?
Sure. And then you would have those little boutique growers back in the day because they used to grow because it used to make sense back then.
Yeah.
There was actually margin at that point. So it wasn't doing it for free. Now,
it was worth something back then. So they were able to really, it was worth it for them.
Care went into it.
Yeah.
I think that also that's like another issue. I feel it's gotten so isolated down to like a business aspect as opposed to just loving it and growing it that it's isolated down. All right, how many corners can I cut to get it to the cheapest possible dollar that I could get it to?
And do you think that's because of legalization?
I think that comes down to trying to mass produce. I believe if they would have kept grows when they were segregating, like, all right, let's make the laws here now and let's focus on, do you want to really care about the plant and getting the best version of it? They should have said, okay, grow can't be bigger than X.
Yeah.
Because once you get past a certain point, you're big ag at that point.
Absolutely.
And as soon as you are, it's mass production. It's not about making the best. It's about making it good enough.
And the most.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And once you're in, that's a lose-lose game there. But if you force farmers to say, hey, you only have X amount of square feet, now you got to grow the best bang for your buck.
Yeah.
Now you're talking about a completely different type of race. Now quality is king.
Yeah.
As opposed to quantity over quality, it would flip-flop.
Absolutely.
Now I have to grow the best, get the most that I can because I only have X amount of feet.
For sure.
So that would have been a way to try to kind of keep it where the love's going into it still. It's not just, think about it, once you have machines doing it and it's, you know what I mean?
It's automated. Yeah.
I don't want to name anyone by name, but I'm sure you've seen some of the large scale cultivations that are just way too big.
Oh, yeah.
Just pumping out subpar product that's just good enough to pass testing and put in a bag that the uneducated consumer could pick up for the cheapest possible price at the store.
Absolutely. Yeah. And honestly, that's the downside of the market because that's where I feel like the pack started going for way lower, you know? And that was a turn in the market. But so with this brand, how long ago did you guys start?
So Miss Scoops actually came in. Now, I'm not an owner there. I'm just the creative director.
Yep.
It came to us about a little bit over 2 years ago. The idea came to us.
Okay.
And it was a group of girls in the office and came and said, hey, we want to do X, Y, and Z. And I was like, that's cool. There was really nothing like that going on at that point.
Okay.
There was no colored jars yet. Packaging was kind of in like a different phase. New York was doing crazy things with like boxes and cereal boxes and stuff like that. But the California rec market really didn't have any loud, expressive, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Jars. So when they brought the idea to me, I was like, this works. The other thing that I knew and I thought instantly when it was being pitched is I was like, who's going to try to stop a group of girls from getting on the shelf?
Absolutely.
In a male-dominated industry,
For sure.
most times they're going to get the nod to slide through because who wants to fight with the girl? Like, who are you trying to keep the girl out?
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So I knew that they would do well because of that. And then once she brought me a couple of the designs and I seen them, I was like, holy shit, you got a home run here, girl, for sure.
Yeah.
We paired her. I came on as the creative director. I started pairing her with good cultivators, and she started rocking and rolling, man. And the proof is in the pudding. She sells out everywhere she is.
Beautiful.
She drops on a shelf somewhere, sells through.
And the weed is good. I've smoked it many times at this point, and it does come through. I mean, the OGs, those are true OGs, so
Definitely.
it's good shit. What was like? Obviously, you said it was pretty successful off the point. What was like the first maybe event or just something that happened significant that you were like, okay, yeah, this is gonna work?
So one thing I realized is in the rec market here, you have to be visible. That's what it comes down to. Consumers go to brands that they trust, brands that they know, brands that they see.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to. So when she started doing events, we started off with Nothing But Fire,
Okay.
which is a premier event. And
Shout out to Mikey Kush.
yeah,
Great
shout out
event to
Mikey
start with,
Kush,
for sure.
my guy over there. She started out there, and she set up, and she had a creative booth, and she really did something different. Every time I went to an event, I see everyone with the same old 10 by 10 pop-up showcase. That was the setup. She did something different where she did like this 3-panel with like an archway.
Okay.
And it had a TV in the front of people rolling like her hash holes.
Dope.
And it was just like a different interactive experience. And I knew right at that point people were going to be drawn to this bright pink booth.
For sure.
With lights all over it. And at that point still, I seen every other brand doing the same old 10 by 10 pop-up. So I really seen her kind of change the lane with that and attract people by, all right, at least if I see this, I need to at least go look at it.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, come up
So
and see
she
what's
started
going on.
doing that, and then once they would see inside the jar, that's all she needed was a shot.
Yeah.
Once she had the shot in front of them, they were like, whoa, this shit has to smoke. Look
Yeah.
at it. It's
Yeah.
crazy. And I think she had a little bit of luck. She was paired next to the right people at the right times,
Okay.
I'm assuming.
Okay.
So Nothing But Fire happens, and then after that, she switches gears and she started doing Sterling Manor PGA events.
Yeah. So Peter.
Yeah,
Shout out to
Peter.
Peter,
Shout
yeah.
out Peter,
Uh-huh.
another good friend of mine.
For sure.
And my guy over there.
Yep.
So she does a PGA event, and this is maybe her second event. So she sells out Nothing But Fire.
Okay.
We already know, now we know we got a winner.
And let me ask you, I heard you say her hash holes. What kind of products do you have? Is it flowers?
So originally when she started out, she only did hash holes.
Okay, interesting.
That's all it was. It was just a hash hole, and she had a couple different flavors.
Okay.
And I originally looked at it and I was like, all right, this works. This plays.
Yeah.
You need to go into a flower line as well. As creative director and helping as a consultant, that's kind of was my angle. And we kind of gave her a business plan and chopped out, this is the route you should go. We think this is where the best isolation is. This is where we think you could win. This is where your advantages are. And she followed the blueprint to a T.
Okay.
And grinded at it on a daily basis. And it works. It does work. If you go the right path, it does work.
For sure.
It's not the easiest path to go, but it's heavy in marketing. It's making sure you're at events. It's making sure that people are seeing, feeling, smoking your product.
Absolutely.
And that's how you win. So she did it. And once we did the PGA event, we ended up being next to, funny enough, Hash House. Johnny and Hash House over there. And he just embraced and loved Miss Scoops too, and came over, showed us super love. And after that, it was history. Sold out again. So now we're 2 events, back-to-back, sold out.
Wow.
The real viral moment is we were going to Hall of Flowers.
Okay.
And instead of actually doing Hall of Flowers, we didn't think that she was ready for that. She couldn't handle the large demand yet.
Okay.
She was in all the cake houses already. She was in R2H. She was in Reefer. She was in Mystica. So she was really having a kind of a hard time at that growth pace.
Okay.
She didn't want to overextend herself, and she refused the entire time to ever put subpar product in the jar.
Beautiful.
So she was like, we're not going to overproduce because we have demand. We're going to stay to what we are, stay true. She was like, for us, it's about putting quality product in the jar.
Okay.
Cool.
And that's important.
And I loved that approach. I was like, all right, authenticity will always sell. Authenticity will always keep you relevant.
For sure.
So when she took that path and started focusing on it, we ended up doing, like I said, we ended up going Hall of Flowers. She really wasn't taking on more stores. So instead of doing the event, she did the after party.
Okay.
Canna Management Group, those guys over there too. Shout out them.
Beautiful.
Like I said, she kind of went on that media tour at that point, and we understood that's where putting your money was important.
For sure.
She ended up doing a rolling bar like no one else did.
Okay.
Sushi interactive rolling bar. She had the entire team. She had PBR.
Dope.
Mikey likes it. The whole team was back there rolling.
Wow.
And the experience was there was like a menu board, and you would come up, you would wait in line, come up. They would write it down like a menu, like you were ordering at a restaurant.
Okay.
And you would say, hey, I want Miss Scoops flour with charisma rosin, and I want it rolled in a Royal Blunts blunt wrap.
Okay.
And they would write that down, the order, and then they would sling it down the line, and then they would roll it live right in front of you and put it up on the bar like a sushi roll.
That's dope.
We actually partnered with Mood Trays for that.
Perfect.
Mood Trays came out, and they built out an entire experience for it. They did the coolers. They did all the graphic work. Shout out the dudes at Mood Trays too, man.
They do a lot of cool shit.
They really did.
Yeah.
And they really helped us bring this to life with the creative that Miss Scoops team has, and them, dude, when they came together with PBR too, it was a night to remember. And
That's another person I keep seeing everywhere though. PBR, this guy's at all the events, just like you guys.
my guy's everywhere, bro. He is for sure. But with all that together, the stars just aligned that night, and the line was literally out the door all night.
Wow.
I think she ended up doing 500 rolls.
Wow.
Which is like unheard of.
That's crazy.
In a night.
And what year was that?
That was this year.
That was this past year.
Yeah,
Wow,
this past year.
Beautiful.
Literally. So, I mean, after that, she came off and she was extremely hot. Stores wanted her, but she, like I said, stayed true, and she really only started taking on a store at a time. So she took on Mystica, and she really likes to focus on giving the store support and selling through there.
Okay.
That's her goal. As opposed to being in 100 stores, she's like, I'd rather be in 25 stores that sell as much as 100.
Smart.
Which targeting your energy is smart.
Absolutely.
She's a small team over there.
Yeah.
Not a ton of people, and they do really well, man. They're killing it.
Good. I went to your guys' 1 year anniversary event, and that shit was dope, you know, at the Woods, WeHo, and man, it was a hell of an event. So
shout out the guys over at the Woods too, man. They take really good care of us.
I know you guys do a lot of collaborations too, and I did just hear you mention Royal Blunts. How did that collaboration come about?
Royal Blunts guys, man. That's the only collab she's ever done. Funny.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Beautiful.
That's it. That's the
what a
only
great
one.
collab to have.
Good collab. The guys at Royal Blunts are just friends.
Okay.
Know Keith and them for a long time.
Beautiful.
Good people.
Good guy. Yep.
Yeah, good guy. Mikey Cush, like I said, good close friend of mine. It was just kind of inevitable. We knew that we wanted to do a collab with somebody. We kind of wanted to stay away from cannabis brands.
Okay.
And they were more of a rap brand before they stepped into cannabis.
Gotcha.
So it aligned for us. We wanted a good role. We didn't have one. They were there. Made sense.
Beautiful.
First collab we did too. Like I said, everything she does drops out, bro.
Shout out to them. Shout out to Royal Blunts. And now, was this collaboration good for you guys? Did it give you good exposure? Did it help you get into more stores?
Definitely. So we have a couple stores right now that are actually onboarding with us currently that came specifically from the Royal Blunts collab.
There you go.
Yeah.
Sounds like everything was pretty smooth sailing. So I just have to ask, was there any obstacles that were like faced in the beginning, and how did you guys overcome them?
So many. So the problem that she had is the distro that she was originally in would get robbed all the time.
No.
Yeah.
That sucks.
It was rough. And that was one of the biggest issues. Legal spot, everything's done properly, but it didn't have a gate, and it was just accessible on the streets, dude. And there would be burglaries regularly.
Yeah.
And she would do all the work, and then it would get stolen.
Damn.
Back to zero. That was the biggest struggle that she had. But, dude, she showed up every day, and she continued making it work regardless of what happened. And
so let's actually speak about that for a second, because we touched on this before we started recording. But it's kind of bullshit that this business is not treated like other businesses. You do everything legit, everything's right. You get robbed and the cops don't come.
The worst part about it is that we're even scrutinized more. We pay more.
Yeah.
Pay more taxes. We pay more. More resources go into it.
More regulations.
Exactly. And there needs to be a shift in that. I think that it doesn't matter if you're a bank, a cannabis shop, what you are. You should be protected if you're, you know what I mean? If you're a legal business, it shouldn't matter what category you're in.
Absolutely.
And it's kind of become a problem I think it's more a problem for stores than it is for distribution.
Okay.
But stores get killed, man. They don't understand. You go into a mom and pop store and you steal $10,000, that can potentially put them out of business.
Absolutely.
And cannabis specifically is the only industry that I've ever seen that if you don't pay your taxes, they'll pull your license.
Yeah.
No other business is like that.
Absolutely
if you're
not.
the flower shop down the street, a regular store, and you don't pay your taxes, they don't come and pull your license that day.
Yeah.
That only happens in cannabis.
That's not fair.
Yeah, it's
not fair. So damn, yeah, that would definitely be obstacles. That would be an obstacle. So how did you guys combat that? Did you end up moving locations?
She ended up at, well, that's when I wasn't doing distribution for her at that point.
Okay.
I was just helping with like the creative director
Gotcha.
aspect of it. And then I brought her over to my distro. She started working out of my distro, and the rest is history.
Beautiful.
We fixed that issue. And like that's really what starting a brand is. It comes down to you have issues and you got to figure out how to solve them. Once you start knocking things off the list, it becomes a lot more manageable.
Yeah.
Once you learn how to solve a problem too, you then know how to do it again when it comes up.
Yeah.
So that's what I did. I told her, I was like, listen, you got a problem. Let's figure out what the solution is. She figured it out, and now you focus more on growth.
There you go. Beautiful. And man, so you guys do a lot of events. There hasn't been many events that I went to that I didn't see you guys at. Is that your doing?
That's kind of the blueprint that we laid out, that I understand in order to be a California dominating brand, you have to be present.
Yeah.
especially
show
at
your
the
face.
major events. You
Yeah.
have to. The people want to connect with the brand. They want to be out there with them. They want to see them. There's not a lot of outliers that just get huge anymore, like Elephant Growth, for instance, that aren't out there showing themselves,
100%.
that aren't out there working and seeing the people. These consumers have short attention spans.
Yeah.
They want to see what's new regularly, so you got to be bringing regularly new products to the market.
Yeah.
You can't just have a winner and be like, I'm just going to stick to this over and over, because everyone wants, you know what I mean? Everyone wants to try the next thing.
Yeah.
Once it's out, you got to be evolving at all times with it. So we understood being out there mattered. We focused on it, and that's kind of why she's been able to corner. And when people walk in, they ask for her by name.
Yeah.
She has that Coca-Cola effect where she wants to be, every time you grab the jar, it's going to be the same thing. You can always count on the quality.
Yeah.
And another thing that I think she does different than any brand is she doesn't actually package her product prior to it getting ordered.
Okay.
So if a store puts it in an order, she's packaging her product that next day, and then it goes out at the end of the week.
Okay.
So she'll have the newest packaging dates, period, across any market.
Beautiful. That's super important as well. I notice a lot of really good reputable brands will have the freshest stuff. Like, shout out to Ted Buds. We were just at Ted Fest this week, and we got the VIP bags, and those shits were pressed like yesterday. You know?
Shout out Ted,
So
bro.
I'm like, wow, man. And it matters. It shows, you know, you get the bag, and it is the freshest flower you're going to get. What trends have you seen? Like, I know you guys have a really good OG, but we were talking before that, like, we were talking about candy. So, like, what kind of trends have you seen, and what do you guys try to follow?
Funny enough, she really doesn't follow what's going on with the market.
Okay.
She started off as all candies.
Wow.
That's all she was doing, actually. Originally, her first 4 flavors were only candies, different cuts of runts and LCGs, and then she kind of shifted, and then she had another drop, and she did the peaches and cream, the Sakura, the Big Perm. She dropped a Z, and then the peaches and cream was a Georgia pie cut,
Okay.
which went like wild.
Yeah.
And she was kind of doing that as it was starting to get cool.
Okay.
Before, everyone was dropping Z. Now everyone, that's all you see now.
Z
You know what I mean?
crosses,
It's
yeah.
Z, and I mean, that's all it is, OGs now. She was doing that as it was turning
Okay.
and starting to become cool.
Perfect.
So she was on that cusp and on that wave, and it's just about putting good flavor in the jar.
So she sounds like she's really good at, like, timing things, huh?
She's a business mind. So like, she's not like one of the biggest cannabis people, but she's a business head, is what she understands.
smart.
She understands business on a macro level, and I think that helps people a lot. I think a lot of people in this industry specifically don't have basic knowledge when it comes to like operating a real business, for instance. And I think the people that do have those little extra tools go further.
Absolutely.
Because at the end of the day, you are running a business.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I will say, if I didn't have any business background coming into something like this, I would have been fucked.
Yeah, of course, dude.
Because I used to own a dog sitting, dog walking, dog waste removal business, and that just taught me a lot about people, you know? If you could just be honest, open, and transparent, most people are pretty understanding. So that was the biggest thing it taught me. If you could just communicate with your customers, whether it's good or bad, just call and be like, hey, this is what's going on.
Communication goes far, man.
100%. And like we said before, communication is the biggest form of respect. So if you respect someone, you'll communicate with them, and that's it, you know?
Exactly.
And if you can't communicate with me, that means you don't respect me. That means I can't work with you.
For sure, for sure.
Yep. But so I know you've done a lot, man. You have done a lot even before this. So why don't you just give us a little bit of your background in cannabis and where you're from, Buffalo?
Yeah.
Yeah,
sure.
just get into it a little bit.
So I originally started off as I used to run a financial firm.
Okay.
That's what I used to do. So I used to be in the debt brokerage business. I used to purchase and sell, and then I stepped into software, and that was like my first big win in business.
Okay.
Me and one of my buddies developed a software together. We ended up selling it.
Beautiful.
Fairy tale story.
Interesting.
I stepped back into finance, and during COVID, funny enough, is I was just investing, and that was kind of my angle. I just kind of operated in like our investment pool, and I brought in new assets. During COVID, cannabis was like 1,000x.
Yeah.
It was wild during that time. So funny enough, I had a background in cannabis. That's how I started out originally. My first business ever was selling weed.
Okay.
So yeah, so first business I ever had was that. As I started realizing that cannabis was 1,000xing, I started to look into purchasing businesses that were either cash restrained or were going under.
Okay.
I ended up finding a couple companies that I wanted to invest in. Before I knew it, I owned a couple of the whole companies.
Okay.
So I ended up buying a couple of the businesses, and I acquired these licenses through owning the asset.
Beautiful.
I had someone that was supposed to come out and actually run them, and they were supposed to do it. I never was supposed to move to California. That was never in the plans for me.
Supposed to stay in New York.
I'm supposed to stay in New York.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I'm the CEO of a financial firm. My life is, you know what I mean, stable. I'm a normal. I'm a dad. I go to work. I come home. Normal guy. The guy who's supposed to come out and run it has an episode where he just decides that that's not what he wants to do in his life no more. He goes in a different direction, and it's just like, all right, so I can't let it go. You know what I mean? I can't blow it now.
Yeah.
So I end up start coming out. I get it up and running. I'm back and forth. Before I knew it, a year later, me and my family lived out here.
Wow.
So it was like, you know what I mean? It kind of
So that happened
absorbed me
fast.
quick. Yeah, it happened quick, dude.
Yeah.
So when I do something, I'm in it all the way. You know, especially if I have money involved, I need to focus on making sure that
Got to make it work.
I got to make it work.
For sure.
Bro. So I was out here, I was working on it, and I started running it. I'm a dad. That's what it comes down to for me. So I can't be away from my kids.
For sure.
Before I knew it, my kids are out here, my wife's out here, we're living out here full time.
How do you manage that? Like, how do you manage the work-life balance?
If I'm not working, I'm at home.
Okay.
So and if I'm not at an event, that's me working. Try to skirt in and out quickly if I'm at an event, show my face, say hi to the people I have to, move on out. Make sure it's running how it's supposed to.
For sure.
Managing it's been rough for me throughout the years though.
Okay.
I've been someone who works way too much, but also I'm someone who doesn't miss anything, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So if let's say my kid has a football game or a baseball game because my boy's a baseball player, I'm going to leave work and go watch my kid play baseball.
For sure.
Period. I don't care what's going on. But after that baseball game, I'll go back to work and work till 2 a.m. if I have to.
I respect that, though. At
So-
least you're there for your kids present. Being present is,
exactly.
it's huge.
It's something that you'll never get back, and it's something I never squandered.
Yeah.
So like I respect it a lot more. I grew up, you know what I mean, without a dad, so I understood I always wanted to be there for my kids.
For sure.
So that's where kind of my balance is I don't care what's going on. I could have a multi-million-dollar deal on the table. I could have investors in the room. I'm getting up and going to my kids' game.
Shout out to that, bro. At the end of the day, you're a dad first. And
Yeah.
that's important.
Yeah, I'm going to get up and go to the game, bro. And if you guys don't want to do business with me because of that, I guess we're not meant to do business together.
Yeah. And hey, if people can't understand that, exactly.
Yeah.
See you later.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep, it's not worth it. So that's pretty dope. Keep going. I mean, you were getting pretty good into your journey there, so we'll just let you keep going.
Oh, where am I?
So you were at the point where you were starting to invest and you moved your family over here after a year.
So I come out here and I just start focusing on that. So now I notice cannabis is a young man's game.
Okay.
So I was like, all right, how do I understand these trends and market trends without really immersing myself into this culture? Because in the beginning, now I'm not really doing brands. I have manufacturing, distribution, so I have to figure out how to make that work.
Yeah.
I end up bringing in young 22-year-old kid that I knew through the cannabis industry that I believed had a good eye for what was hot. He was always
Okay.
smoking the hottest, like whatever it was, if it was Zushi or Tits in a Can, whatever it was at the time.
The best brands. Yeah.
He knew what was hot, and he was usually ahead. So I brought him in, and I was like, all right, you don't really have much except for whatever you're doing. I'm going to give you equity in a real company, and I'm going to show you how to buy your mama a house. And I gave him structure and made him understand how to set your life up the right way. And in turn, he came and became my COO and started bringing in those trends and helping bring brands to life. There's countless brands that I could say that me and him have both worked on and been behind. I don't want to oust anybody and say that their hard work wasn't it.
For sure.
But we've given a lot of creative advice to some of the biggest brands that people love and know today.
Yeah. And I'm sure he appreciates you for that.
Oh, of course. That's
Yeah.
my guy, man. He's great. Shout out Gas Monkey.
Hell yeah. Shout out to them.
Uh,
So now, I had a question for you. It's slowly squandering, but what was I gonna say? Fuck, it's gonna come back if it was important. But yeah, just keep going.
So I'm out here with my family now. I'm living on the beach. My kids have a complete life 360. We moved from New York, upstate New York, where we live in like a cul-de-sac neighborhood.
basically Canada.
Yeah, exactly. Basically Canada. That's a good point. And we moved to a smaller beach town, and my kids just immerse into it. So I see my kids start to grow and love it. So of course, when you're living a life like that, your business starts to be successful.
Yeah.
When everyone around you is living good, bro, it usually makes things start to be successful.
For sure.
Cannabis started to go hard from that time, though. So we came in with real inflated numbers where I'm a projections guy. I understand business on a macro level. So I look and I see the numbers just plummeting, which they have been. I think all good.
Fucking A. Went down the wrong pipe.
My man almost dropped.
Better cut this pass.
What's up, brother? How are you?
Aaron, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Sammy.
Nice to meet you.
Damn, you better cut this part out.
This goes in the bloopers for sure. At the end of the year, bro. At the end of the year, you guys should do a bloopers.
Yeah, it's the first time that's ever happened.
That has never happened before.
This is gonna be a special episode.
Right? Did you see my eyes though? Once I felt it, I was like, oh fuck, I don't want to spit this out. Hilarious. All right.
So, man, I'm starting to see the market plummet.
Okay. All right, so the market's plummeting, and then what?
So I started to realize that the numbers were just crashing.
Okay.
Now I start to look at the investment as a whole, and I start to realize, like, okay, numbers are going to get slim with product going down like that. Our main bulk, like, business at the distro at that time was selling wholesale to brands.
Okay.
So as prices are crashing, all the investment inventory that we have on the shelves, the hundreds of thousands of dollars, is being worth less day after day after day. So, of course, being, you know what I mean, making sure that we're ahead of the game is I got to understand, like, the trends, which there is no trend to look at in cannabis is the biggest problem.
Yeah.
It's just happening now for the first time. This is a young industry.
It's wild.
20 years ago, this don't exist.
For sure.
So that's unheard of. Think about any business. Think about banking. Think about
like we said earlier, though, there was no like, yo, I want some candy or some OG. It was like, yo, you got weed, bro? I'll take some weed.
That's why it's evolving every day. And it's different every day. And eventually we will see. Once you see federal legalization, I personally think so. I had to look at it long. I realized what was going to happen is the market was going to get saturated because people don't want to realize that California does supply most of the nation.
Absolutely.
At the end of the day. That's what it really comes down to. But I realized that that was going to slow down and make production an issue when it came to other states being able to produce.
Yeah.
I knew that they would never be able to produce like California because I still believe that California is going to be able to grow superior to everywhere.
For sure.
There's a reason why they don't grow oranges in New York.
Yeah.
They grow them in Florida for a reason.
Yeah.
There's a reason why the best wine in the world comes from Napa.
Absolutely. I didn't realize that at first either. So I just realized, damn, they're going to be able to grow indoor weed anywhere. It's going to be great. And it's going to be the same. It's not. No, I realize that now.
Yeah. So
being here, especially going back to New York. Now you're like, oh, what the fuck is this?
Exactly. So what I really think, and this is me and a couple other people have this opinion, is that once federal legalization comes, everywhere else dies.
Yeah, 100%.
Because now you import it all from California.
100%.
That's the way it's going. And that's the way
and
it's
that's the way it should be, honestly. This is where the industry started. This is where the industry was built. This should be the Michigan of cars.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. That's a great way to put it. That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
But like anyone said, like, can you grow something indoor? Of course. You can make hydroponic strawberries anywhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you shouldn't be mass producing them. You should be importing the bulk of where they come from.
Absolutely.
Just makes sense.
For sure.
And that's where I think the industry is going to go. So I think over the next couple of years, well, political wins or whatever people want to call it, the wins of political, however it works, eventually it becomes federally legal, and that's the path towards.
What do you think is going to happen? Like, because this, I feel like could happen tomorrow, maybe. What the rescheduling of it? What do you think happens when that happens?
Well, it's going to change some things because now it's going to open up. I don't know the exact regs that it's going to open up, but I'm not a lawyer, but I'm sure it's going to have to open up transport because Schedule 3s and 2s, you could transport them legally. So now how is that going to fall into? What type of license are you going to need for it? How
Shit's going to change.
Shit's going to change. It has to.
Yeah.
And the problem is there's no really standard for you because none of it's really ever happened.
For sure.
And it's something that is going to be slower than people want it to be.
Yeah.
But it's going to start crawling it's always going to be evolving and changing until big companies come in, big alcohol, big tobacco, till they get involved, and then people are really putting money behind lobbying.
That's what I was going to say. That's my firm belief. Until that happens, not shit's going to get done. But once Philip Morris is in and once fucking big alcohol is in, now we're going to be able to do whatever the fuck we want.
Well,
I hope that doesn't kill what we have going now.
Well,
you know,
the problem is that is exactly what's going to happen. The only issue with those things is they'll be able to make those laws pass, and they'll get regulations to go to where they want them, and they'll stay that way because they're paying the politicians to keep them that way.
Absolutely.
It's how all businesses run, realistically, which doesn't make it right. But the problem is those guys are never going to, no matter about how much money you throw at weed companies, you can't become trendy or hot.
Yeah.
Doesn't work. It's not like any other business. And that's what you've already seen with investment firms that have came in and try to throw billions of dollars at it. They've tried to do it. They've failed. Their balance sheets. More money doesn't solve the problem of being in a market and having traction.
It doesn't. And that's why actually I reported on a story about this just yesterday. Some of the big brands in California are using a loophole now so that they can just get rid of their assets and they don't have to claim bankruptcy. So that was interesting to me. So now what they're doing is they'll have another company like, say, X, Y, and Z come in and buy their dispensary, so now they have less debt.
An asset sale.
Exactly.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But it's a loophole. And, hey, shout out to the loopholes, because the loopholes, I feel like, are what is going to keep us going. So if you're a loophole person, keep looking for the loopholes and keep spreading knowledge to the game, because
So I just actually, funny enough, I just heard, I don't want to say who, but I heard somebody's tax strategy recently, and they were on a podcast and they were talking about it, and I'm assuming most people got bored when they heard tax strategy.
Of course. And you were like, huh?
Yeah, I honed in. And when you really do look at it, how it's written, the code, it says that cannabis accessories and cannabis products are two different things. So let's use a vape, for instance. The actual hardware is a cannabis accessory. So it's not taxed the same as the actual cannabis product that's inside the vape.
Okay.
So let's say the vape costs $3 and the distillate inside of it costs $1. You're only paying tax on the dollar, not the $3 that's in the device that's an accessory.
I see.
So now your cost of goods goes from X to Y.
Interesting.
Extremely lower. And I guess that's the way, that's technically legal to do it that way.
Damn, bro, you just made my mind go somewhere else.
Yeah.
So my thought was, now, could you be a hardware company?
Sure, of
And
course.
then
I'm sure
be
there's
a marijuana company, and they're two separate entities, and now you're
course.
literally in a different tax bracket.
Well,
right
I
out
think
the
kind of
gate.
what you're doing is already that without doing that. So let's say now when you're filing your taxes, you're saying like, okay, this is a cannabis accessory. I'm not paying the 19% on the hardware.
Yeah.
I'm not paying the 19% on the Mylar bag or the jar. I'm only paying the 19% on the
product
cannabis that's in it.
Yeah. Interesting. So that's definitely an interesting way to look at it. That was game.
Yeah, right.
So I know you're involved in a couple other things. However far you want to get into this, I know we had talked recently, and you said you were involved with Cannabis Capital in some sense.
Sure.
Just tell us about that a little bit.
Yeah, I'm a partner at Cannabis Capital. That's kind of where Miss Scoop started. It's a marketing firm.
Okay.
When I got out here, I acquired the licenses, and let's continue the story path. Okay,
For sure.
We acquired the licenses. Now we're out here. We're working on the licenses. It's dropping. I understood having marketing, if you were going to bring brands to life, was the key.
Yeah.
So I reached out. I partnered with them. Said, hey, listen, start bringing brands to life. I need a good marketing plan. I need a good designer on staff. I need the path. They've been around since the beginning.
Yep.
So they know how brands come, go, up, down. And kind of what I did is I bought John's knowledge and the insight on how the industry works, which most people don't understand from a macro level.
Okay.
When you're working inside of a brand and you see most people only see the failures and successes of brands.
For sure.
You don't see what happens behind the scenes, how you actually get to a finalized design, how you actually decide what product goes in the jar. Those are all other points that where mistakes are made. That's where the successes come from.
For sure.
They're made in the gym. They're not made at the sale.
Absolutely.
And that's where people really lose sight of the issues at hand. And that's kind of what John showed us is, all right, this is what I've seen brands do. I don't know if he knew how to categorize it the way I do.
Okay.
But I knew what information to extract in order to understand the market path that I wanted to go towards.
Okay.
And that's kind of where we were able to join teams and help each other move forward. Hey, you're going to show me, and I'm going to show you.
Absolutely.
I'm going to show you how to run a more effective business. You're going to give me the market analytics that I'm looking for.
Absolutely. And I love the way you said that. I bought his knowledge.
Yeah.
Because, hey, that's one way to do it, you know?
Sure.
You can pay me for my time, and I can teach you. Absolutely.
Exactly.
We can do that.
Exactly.
For
And
sure.
he had a plethora of it.
Absolutely.
Like it was so much insight that I don't even think most people would understand how to break it down and digest it. But if you understand business, like I said, most people don't.
Yeah.
You could understand how to, okay, this is what these people did that didn't work. This is what people did that did work. This is how I want to develop my pattern.
Absolutely.
Not to say that that's always going to be a success, because sometimes it takes hard work. It takes, you know what I mean? There's no luck involved in having a successful brand.
Absolutely.
It's all a recipe and it's all a model.
Absolutely. It all looks like luck, but you know.
Exactly.
That's why I said one of my favorite sayings, it's like, damn, the harder I work, the luckier I get. You know, it's crazy.
Yeah.
But it's true. You know, it's
Sure
not
is.
luck, bro. The more work you put in, the more results you will see. And some of the times you don't even realize like what's going on. Like especially
Definitely,
with
bro.
this shit, bro. We just put our head down and worked, and That's it.
It happens.
And now we go out and people are like, Green Rush, we heard you. I'm like, wow, that's crazy. Like,
whoa, right?
Yeah.
Dude, I'll never forget one of the first times I was ever in the wild and I seen someone pull out a Miss Scoops jar, for instance. I'll use her. We were all sitting. I was with the Miss Scoops team, funny enough. We were all sitting somewhere and I seen someone pull it out. And I was like, this really fucking happening? You know? I was like, yeah, right. And, like, we all kind of looked at each other. And then, like, I had to ask the guy, I'm like, oh, what is that? He was like, oh, it's this brand, da-da-da-da-da. I was like, what do you think of it? He was like, oh, bro, it's fire. Check it out. And, like, dude, at that moment, we all kind of looked at each other and we were like, holy fuck,
Should we tell
dude.
him?
Yeah, no, we didn't.
That's
the best part. Yeah, we
That's
didn't say
beautiful.
anything. We were like, oh, that's fire, dude. We're going to pick one up. And, like, yeah, we didn't say a word. We let him go off not even knowing that, like, we were the team that developed it.
That's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah.
That's a good feeling.
Yeah, it was dope.
Yeah. Where was that?
We were at an event, funny enough.
Okay.
And they brought it in with them.
Wow.
So it was like, dude, we weren't even at the event. We were just, like, there hanging out at someone else's thing. And they showed up with it. We were at it was, I don't want to say the wrong thing, but it was so Miss Scoops does a bunch of stuff with a fraternity.
Okay.
I think it's the USC girls.
Got you.
That's where we were. We were at the USC event.
And somebody pulled it out?
And someone pulled it out, dude. And we're
Hell
like,
yeah.
holy fuck, dude. Are you kidding me right now?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. That's a
Wow.
good ass feeling. So speaking of that, you just said you were at an event that you weren't in.
Mm-hmm.
So how important is it to just be at events?
In my opinion, that's where most of the work happens. That's where most of the deals happen. Some people don't use it effectively. And if me and my team are at an event, we're showing up with a mission. Okay, what are we here for?
Yeah.
If not, we're not going to go. We're not just going to go to look cool. We're not just going to go to hang out. We're not just
Absolutely.
going to go to say we were there.
Yeah.
We're going to go because, okay, what do we want to do? What's our objective currently with the business? Are we looking for retailers? Are we looking for collaboration partners? Are we looking for someone to be a cultivation partner? What are our needs?
Yeah.
And whatever we go for, that's what we target. If I'm looking for stores, I'm looking, hey, what do you do? Oh, you're in this? Oh, cool. Look, I got a brand. Boom. If I'm looking for a cultivation partner, hey, know anyone that's a cultivator? You know what I mean?
Beautiful.
And that's kind of how we like to do it. We go with a specific objective. We usually go with like a 4-person team, and we like to split up. We all know a lot of people in the industry because
sure.
we go to a lot of these events.
Absolutely.
And it's a lot of the same faces. That's what people don't realize. Cannabis is small.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of people in it. If you fuck people over or if you don't do good business, it gets
Yeah.
out there quickly.
Yup.
And it's
All we have is our word, bro.
That's it.
And if you don't keep your word, that's it.
there's no credit scores in cannabis. Remember that.
Hell yeah. That's why I try to just keep it, like I said, everything we do, we try to just keep it authentic. If it ain't supposed to happen, we don't want it to happen.
Bro, I'm so big on keeping my word. Is trust and believe me. My kids, I had to wake up this morning, get my kids out the door. The last thing I wanted to do was drive an hour and a half
Fuck,
here
man.
to come do the
I
podcast.
feel
But I
that.
told them when I seen you that day, I literally told my wife, she was like, you don't think you could reschedule? I was like, I gave him my word I would be there. I was like, I'm not going to leave him hanging.
I respect that. I'm the same exact way, bro. Like, legitimately, I will hate myself, but the last thing I'll do is
Yeah, I'm
cancel.
gonna show up
Yeah.
regardless. I said I was gonna. If I didn't want to be there, I should have had the balls to say right then.
Exactly.
I can't make it.
Exactly.
Yeah, don't.
So
do
that's
that
the
to
thing. Just
people.
be a man of your word. In this business, if you say yes, just go.
Just do it.
No matter how hard it is. And if you don't want to, just be honest. Say, hey, man, I would love to, but maybe next time. Maybe
But
next time.
if you're a man of your word though, even if it sucks, you gotta go do it,
Exactly.
bro. Yeah, if you said it, you gotta do it.
Speaking of that, bro, like I'm also a big believer in it's better late than never, you know. So with
Dude.
Mikey's, he just had an event. He invited me to his last event on Thursday,
Dope.
and I was fucking busy that day. You know, I was running around. Holy shit, I got home. I'm like, damn. By the time I get home, it was like 8 o'clock. I knew the place closed at like 11, but luckily he shot me a text. We're gonna be here till 2 a.m. I'm like, say less. So I got my shit ready, and I showed up by 11 p.m. We chilled all night, you know. So
For sure.
it was better late than never. And that's why sometimes you just got to get yourself. It sucks, bro. There's a lot that goes on in a day, and you can't plan everything. But hey,
Can't, bro.
just do your best.
But when you do show up for the people that they realize that, and
Exactly.
it matters. Like even that specific event you're talking about,
Yeah.
I was there.
Yeah.
Dude, driving in South or
Fuck.
Hollywood, dude, on a school night.
Fuck,
Rough.
man. Yeah.
Come on, Mikey.
Yeah. But hey, I'm glad I went. I met a lot of great people, like you said.
Of course.
And what a fucking spot, bro.
Yeah, it's dope over
What
there,
a
right?
spot, bro.
Dude.
Shout out to the Sunset Social Club because that was
Funny enough, I almost did the same concept as them right down the street.
no shit.
Literally. I was
Really?
in a deal where I was this close to actually closing on it.
Okay.
And we didn't because the problem for me was I was already acquiring a couple companies at that time.
Okay.
I just brought on the distribution aspect of our arm. I just brought in the cannabis capital partner. I was like, I can't spread myself too thin.
Yeah,
And that type of event space where you're doing something like that requires you to be there.
for sure.
It just does, dude.
Yeah, no, that's a full-time commitment.
It's a full-time
Yeah.
commitment, and that's one thing even when a good opportunity comes by, I'm disciplined enough to understand I gotta not do this because if I do, I'm gonna fuck it up.
It's gonna affect shit. Yeah,
It's gonna affect shit. It's gonna affect the other shit that I'm winning at right now, and I won't be able to do this to the best of my ability. So I don't want to drop the ball on it.
Absolutely. I'm a huge believer in that, especially my stuff. Like, I come from creative, I come from music, I come from media. So where my head was at always, like, I would have loved to be able to do everything myself. And even with the podcast stuff, I did do everything myself in the beginning.
Yeah, that's sick.
But I slowly realized that's not the best use of my time. That's not what's going to make this the best, you know? Just leave the pros to what they do, and you do what you're best at.
Bro, so
and that's all you could do.
I'm a very hands-on owner or managing partner of anything that I work on. So I'm not too good at doing nothing at the shop. If something's going on and we need help, I'll do it. I'll sticker, I'll sweep the floor, I'll clean the bathroom. I don't care what it takes, but you're 100% right. If I'm sitting there stickering all day, that's probably not the best
use of your time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But if I have to, I will. You know what I mean? There's no question that I will. But, like, yeah, you have to be smart enough as a leader at a certain point to understand, like, okay, I need support roles.
Exactly.
And these support roles matter. They might even be more important than what I do.
Yeah. And the best thing, though, is when you do it yourself, now nobody can ever fuck you.
Yeah.
Because God forbid, bro, I know what's going on. I know how to do that shit. You can't tell me, nah, bro, I can't do it. No, don't fucking tell me that. I know how this works.
That's the one thing I teach brand owners. Any of the brand owners that come under me, man, I teach them, own your shit. Own your fucking trademarks.
Yeah.
Own your brand, actually. Don't ever let anyone steal it from you.
For sure.
The first couple brands I ever did, someone tried to steal from me. I had a large company come and try to steal it from me. They didn't know that I was a little smarter than the average bear. I had a little bit of litigation knowledge and background from working in the financial sector.
Okay.
And I had in-house counsel at the time at a company that I was running. The company that I originally built, the financial company, I had like 300 employees.
Wow.
Like, it was a real business.
That's huge.
Yeah, it was a big company. And we ended up selling it, and it was great, but it wasn't what I loved to do. It wasn't what I loved at all. But I understood how to fight in a courtroom because of that.
Okay.
And they try to come and pretty much just jack it. Tell me that I didn't own the trademarks,
That's
And we got into a little legal battle about it. And I ended up actually making them quit and back out.
Good.
And the thing for me is, like I said, with business, man, like I'm pretty sharp. I'm simple, man. It's for sale.
Yeah.
Everything is.
Yeah.
You can't be attached to anything.
It's true.
I watched a story one time about a guy who went and lived with a tribe, funny enough. And, like, one of the biggest takeaways that he had was that, like, he drew something for him and gave it to him, and the guy looked at it, enjoyed it, and then threw it over the edge. Because he's not attached to anything.
Yeah.
And the guy was like, dude, it killed me. But then I realized, I was like, imagine having that level of freedom.
Yeah.
I don't need anything.
Yeah.
And, like, that stuck with me. I was like, whoa.
That is crazy.
That's pretty deep, bro.
Man, shit. You know, I'm not really attached to things, but I hate change. Like, not that I hate it. Now, like, I kind of love it. I embrace it. But growing up, like, change was, like, bad. You know, I was like, nah, bro, I don't want this to change. Everything has to stay the same, you know? But then I realized that's not how you're going to grow. You got to change shit always to grow. Bro.
And for me, I'm one of the people that's disciplined, so I could change in an instant, but not for no reason.
Yeah.
It's got to be a reason.
Absolutely.
So when I got to that point and I was arguing with these people over the name, dude, buy it from me. I had other things going on, though. That's why. If it was my baby and it was the only thing I had, you're right, I probably would have dug my heels in, and I'll never give this up. But, like, dude, I've always been blessed enough to have multiple things going on.
Yeah.
To where you know what I mean? I do a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and anything that I do, business-wise, man, it's for sale. The only thing you can't have is my kids or my wife.
Absolutely.
Everything else, you could buy it.
And, you know, it's actually crazy. The more we talk, the more similarities me and you have. We come from New York. We both had businesses. We came out here. And what you just said stuck with me because that was the same shit I had. Probably could have had a great, lucrative life doing the business I had before.
Yeah, bro.
Probably would have been well off.
Yeah.
But that's not what I wanted to be doing.
It's not life,
so I'm
bro.
like, damn, that's why I did the same shit. I'm like, you know what, fuck that. I'm going to California.
As
crazy as it sounds, I'm going to go be an artist and a podcast. We were like, you're out of your fucking mind, bro.
Doing it,
But
though, right?
That's what you got to do. That's it. You just got to
do.
take the leap. And honestly, like you said with your kids, you brought them out here and they started to thrive. I'm a firm believer in getting the fuck out of where you're from, bro. And I didn't believe that until I did it.
The one thing that I really realized is, like, we come from, so, like, in New York, you know how it is. Like, my kids didn't really have, like, commerce. And, like, when we moved to a beach town, bro, it's like, yo, they're on Main Street. They're shopping.
Crazy.
They're like, they're living a completely different life. Where I come from, bro, it's winter 6-7 months out of the year up there.
You know, it's
cold
funny.
in Buffalo.
I almost went to school in Vermont.
Oh, yeah, that's even colder, bro. That's up even further.
Freezing.
Yeah.
I was going to go to, for music production, funny enough. And one of the first tours I'm up there, it was summer. It was hot as fuck. I'm like, damn, bro. And I'm looking around. I don't see any air conditioners. I'm like, yo, bro, nah, I can't do this. I'm like, where's the AC? He's like, bro, By the time you get here, you're not gonna need a fucking air conditioner.
Yeah,
And I was like, oh, he's like, it'll be hot for 2 weeks, and then you're gonna be begging for heat. I was like, all right, I trust you.
Yeah, Buffalo's cold, bro. So that's one of the biggest things. My kids, we moved to the beach, and we really embrace it. We
What
enjoy
a
it.
different lifestyle, though. That's cool. That's really cool.
It's different.
And the beaches out here, bro, they're different. They're different. Unless you're going out to like Long Island and the Hamptons and shit, like those are different beaches as well.
We didn't have that where I'm from.
Exactly. Yeah. Speaking of Buffalo, though, did you ever have Duff's?
Dude,
Come on.
of course.
Come
That ain't
on.
the best wing in Buffalo, though.
I know, but it is the original. If I'm
It
not
is the
mistaken.
original. It is the original.
So when we were in town, we made sure we had it. One of my stupid ass friends got the fucking hot one that they tell you to sign the waiver. Don't do it. You're gonna regret it, and he did it anyway. Fucking idiot.
yeah, for sure.
But I enjoyed the wings. They were good. Like I said, that was a beautiful trip for me because that was my first time really going up there. And we went and we took a trip to the falls. We saw Niagara Falls. I played my first like really big show kind of at a frat house. We were passing out blunts. Wrote a song on the way back. So like for me, that was just like a kind of life-changing trip. You know, I got a lot of experience.
Buffalo is a great place, bro. There's a ton of culture there. The food's fucking amazing.
Absolutely.
It's like no place else.
Shout out to my boy John Quigley because he's the one that made that happen.
Dope.
But I'm gonna be honest, bro. There was some crazy shit that went down that I was like,
bro.
where the fuck am I right now? Because we're all out there, you know, after the show, whatever, everyone's chilling, frat party, you know, figure people
What
getting
school you
drunk.
at?
I think we were at UB.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And but this is what I didn't expect, bro. I've been to frat parties before I've been, and everyone's drinking, getting fucked up. You know, that was cool. But then all of a sudden they're like passing some shit around, and it didn't smell like weed. And he's like, yo, you want some? And I'm like, what is that? He's like, oh, it's crack. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, no, I'm good, bro. And this was a college kid, bro. These are just college kids in a circle smoking crack. I'm like,
That's fucking
bro, you're
wild.
going to school during the week, and then you're fucking losing all your knowledge on the weekend. You're smoking crack. What the fuck are you doing?
Buffalo's a wild place,
Buffalo's
man.
a special place, bro. That's all I'll say. You get the best of both worlds.
Yeah, Buffalo's a wild place. Another thing people don't realize is how many colleges are there.
Oh, there's so many, bro.
college
And that's why
land.
like my boy's like, I'm going to college in Buffalo. I'm like, why the fuck are you going to Buffalo, bro? He's like, bro, it's so lit. So
It is.
lit. No,
It
it
is.
is. It is a good time.
And think about it, for like the cannabis market, think about millions
on.
millions of rich
Come
kids
on,
with
yeah.
their parents' money to spend.
Of
man.
course. Come on, bro. They
Yeah.
ain't buying books and shit. So what advice do you have to someone young, maybe trying to get into the cannabis business? What would you tell them?
Honestly, man, the biggest thing that I would tell anyone is authenticity. Stick to yourself. Don't let anyone tell you what you should be doing. Don't let anyone try to convince you off your idea. If you believe in it, stick to it. And that's what's always going to sell.
Beautiful.
You're never ever going to love something that you don't believe in. So
It's true.
if it's what you believe and you think it's right, it is right. That's
sure.
all that matters. There's no right answer to this. Like I said earlier, this is a young industry, man. 20 years is nothing.
Yeah.
That's a pubic hair in like the
We're in the green rush right now.
yes,
if you
for
wanna
sure.
say. Yeah,
We
yeah.
really are. And people think that like it's like, oh, it's been around, it's saturated. Dude, we are just getting started.
That's it.
Big business isn't even involved in this yet. You want to see saturation? You'll see saturation in the next 20 years.
In our lifetime.
Yes,
we
we'll
will
see it.
for
100%.
sure.
We're
Yeah,
not
yeah.
there yet.
No.
Nowhere near.
Nope.
Nowhere near. But that's what it's about. It's about being authentic. And in this, that's what sells. Those are all the brands. Think about the biggest brands. Think about your Fidels, your Gas No Brakes.
Yeah.
Those are homegrown, grassroots.
And I've sat and I've talked to all of them. Besides Fidel, he's going to be coming in November.
Shout
But
out Fidel. my
Those
boy.
are real ass people, and they really love this shit.
Bro.
So like, yeah, those are the people you want to see succeed and do.
Think
well.
about the people that they've been around, bro. You know what I mean? Think about like Serge,
Yeah.
the other brother. You know
Crazy.
what I mean? He's been around since the original Cookies in
Yeah.
Maywood. and
Legends,
bro.
Yeah.
Real legends in this. And those brands are here to stay. You see brands come every day. I'm sure you see it. I'm sure you have seen it. And those brands that come are unauthentic.
Absolutely.
Thrown together quickly, no love put behind it. You're not going to be hot off your first drop. That's what people don't realize.
Yeah.
People realize that it takes time,
Yeah.
man.
This is a long game, bro. Nothing is ever going to happen quick. with this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But the one thing you don't get is you cannot afford mistakes. You only get one chance to win or lose your consumer.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That's what it comes down to. If you win them, you keep them for life, though. When
So
you're
what would
we-
you say is the most important thing for just obviously keeping that consumer?
So it's definitely what it comes down to in cannabis is the Coke effect. People want to know what they're gonna get when they open the jar.
Same thing every time. Yeah.
It's got to be the same thing, man. And you got to understand as a brand owner, you can't be scared to say like, all right, my product's been sitting on the shelf there too long. I'm gonna go and swap it out, because what it comes down to is you cannot lose the consumer
For sure.
over letting something sit or
sure.
not. You know what I mean? That's a failure of you as a brand or as a store or as your partner.
Yeah.
we're not pushing the product out, obviously I'm giving you too big of orders, or it doesn't fit for this market demographic.
Absolutely.
So only
And you know what's
two
crazy?
answers.
When you say that, the first thing it makes me think of, I had a friend who his uncle used to own a Boar's Head route. I'm sure you're familiar with that being in New York.
Of course. The
Bro,
best.
I went on a couple of routes with him just to like help out and do shit. I couldn't believe to the extent like Boar's Head will find them if there's an expired product or almost expiring product on the shelf. That's their duty, not the store's duty. They don't just deliver their product. They go in, they look at their shelves, see what's going on, make it look nice, and get the fuck out. That's their
quality.
brand. Yeah,
It's quality, bro. That's why. That's what it comes down to. And like, I'm assuming in that too, if you get nasty lunch meat, probably not gonna go back. I don't want that.
no.
That was garbage last time.
That's the one thing about Boar's Head, bro. It's like you going, yo, you guys got Boar's Head? All right, cool. Let me
Yeah,
get a
cool. Let me
sandwich.
get that.
Let me get
For
a sandwich.
sure. You don't even mind paying the premium.
Yeah.
That's another thing though that we run into the issue with, I believe, is that cannabis has this issue where they want the cheapest product for the best price. And I understand that.
Yeah.
For sure. I get it. Things do need to be cost efficient for consumers, and I understand. But if you want something good, it's not always going to be cheap.
For sure.
And if you want something cheap, it's not always going to be good.
That's for damn sure.
Yeah, so that's one of the things that consumers, I think it comes down to education. And you got to explain to people and say, "Hey, listen, you could wear a pair of Nike socks, or you could wear a pair of Dollar Tree socks."
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Same thing's happening. Your foot's covered.
Yeah.
But,
It's true.
You know what I mean? It depends to you on what you want.
It's very true. Very true.
It's preference.
Yeah. And it's all about how you put yourself out there, too. If you have, like you said, good marketing and you do have the Coke effect, people come by, you got the same thing every time, you're probably going to be okay.
Well, and that's another thing people do. They have to understand that marketing matters.
Yes.
People want to know who a brand is. They're
Yeah.
not just going to show up and be like,
And you have to. They're not going to find out about you any other way. This is
Exactly.
2025, bro.
That's the way,
Everybody
man.
is fighting to be seen, you know?
that's it.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to. And you got to think about it from any product standpoint. You think about a big brand, Lysol, anything, dude, across the board. They're still having commercials and they're doing marketing because it
Why?
matters, man.
Exactly. Because
Matters.
they know, okay, we put this much into this, we'll get this much return. So.
And people don't even understand. It's even like a subconscious thing. You might see a commercial for Lysol, then be at the store and subconsciously grab that bottle because you've seen it.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
No, it's true. It's like anything else. Like what I say with this stuff, because we're not huge yet, but what we've done is the radio effect.
Yeah.
You may not know why you've heard of us or why
you heard
Green
it.
Rush rings a bell, but oh yeah, that sounds familiar. You know,
Mhm.
you may love us, you may hate us, but you hear about it. You know,
That's all that
so
matters.
that's really cool. Do you guys have any other products that you're gonna extend to in the near future?
So Miss Scoop specifically is dropping rosin.
okay,
She's doing rosin. She's doing a pre-roll as well,
Fire.
and she is coming back with hash rolls again.
no shit.
Yeah,
okay,
so-
so the original thing is coming back.
Yeah, the original thing's coming back. She's kind of doing like an open SKUs right now. Like I said, she's really focused on the flower.
Okay,
But right now behind her here's some of the rosin actually.
Let's
funny
check it
enough.
out.
Yeah.
let's see that.
And her branding is always next level.
That's fucking. That smells good. And what rosin is this?
This right here is a honey banana.
Honey banana.
So like for her marketing, for instance, like look at like the detail that goes into like one of her labels.
Okay, so this is Grandma's Gumbo.
That's one of her best sellers.
That's
right there.
fucking dope. Look at that.
You actually got the smoke coming up off the pot.
That's cool shit. Now you guys got really good branding and the jars too. Like you don't see a lot of colored jars. Maybe black, but not like pink.
Funny enough, is she dropped a pink jar. No one ever did it before. I
Okay.
promise you, I never seen it. And then I seen a couple brands. I'm not gonna say anyone, but drop pink jars after.
Interesting.
Maybe
Interesting.
even use a couple of our names as well. But
Okay. Okay. And how many strains of rosin are you guys gonna drop?
she's
for the
gonna
first
start
one?
with 4.
Okay. Cool.
That's how she usually does it. She usually does 4 drops.
beautiful.
It's usually 4 different flavors. That's how she always did it. Her first original pack was 4 different 7-gram jars in one box, and it was an ounce.
Okay.
That's how it started. It was like a variety pack.
That's sick.
And
That's
then
sick.
that kind of is the path that she's adopted. She always does 4 flavors and drops 4 flavors. And
Very cool. That keeps it easy.
the model,
Yeah,
exactly. And
yeah.
she usually only has 4 out for like available at a time.
Okay.
So it's like not like you're gonna see 4 here and then different 4 somewhere else.
So now you really do have that limited aspect.
yes,
To it.
100%.
Get it while it's here, or else
Yes.
it's gone. Yeah.
And it might not ever come back.
That's cool.
So she's done that a couple times where like she used to have Ring Pop used to be one for a bit.
Okay.
And it was one of her best selling candies, and then Grandma's Gumbo kind of pushed it out, and Ring Pop is no more.
Damn.
I miss a good ring pop sometimes.
Shout out to Grandma's Gumbo.
Yeah, shout out Grandma's Gumbo.
Yeah. So, where can the people find you? You said you guys are in the cake houses, a couple other locations as well.
So yeah, Miss Scoops is in all the cake houses. She's in all the Herbas. She's in R2H, Mystica. She's in Nug Hub.
Okay.
So yeah, she's got a real big presence in the IE.
Okay.
And she's really starting to take that footprint over in like West Hollywood area. Now.
Okay. Beautiful. And now, will you guys be going to the Hall Flowers Santa Rosa this year?
Yes.
What about the Hall Flowers New York?
We're not sure.
Okay.
She just dropped actually in New York. She's in a couple stores now.
Really?
There as
So you
well.
guys are MSO now?
Yeah,
That's
we're
dope.
MSO for
Very
sure.
cool.
She just did a couple stores out there. She's only in 2. Doogie's, and the other one is Top Shelf.
How's that going out there?
It's going really well, actually.
Very cool.
So
Market is cool out there. I'm not gonna lie.
It is.
A lot of interesting shit. Man, I can't wait to get back to New York, honestly, because I had a fun time when I was there.
Yeah, I haven't been in a year, so I'm waiting till after winter though.
Okay.
It's gonna be too cold.
Gotcha. I think we're gonna be out there for the Hall Flowers. Hopefully, if everything works out, we'll be there for that.
We might. I'm not sure yet.
Okay.
I'll keep
Hit
you
me up,
posted
yeah.
though, definitely.
Any events in the near future that maybe they should know about? This may drop in like a month, so maybe something like in the future. You got anything?
Nothing really crazy, man. Honestly, we kind of next year coming up, we've already had an executive meeting and decided we're gonna tighten up this year. I think we're only gonna really focus on doing. I'm gonna do Ted Fest next year. Shout out my guy. I got you. I promise.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do Nothing But Fire. I'm gonna do Network Show.
Perfect.
We're gonna do anything PG8 does. We'll do. Obviously, that's like our home sesh for Miss Scoops.
Okay.
Peter and them over
Hell
there.
yeah.
So if anything Peter and Tony do, I'll always got you guys.
Fire.
But really, really honestly, man, we've really tightened it up, and I don't know if we're doing as many as we were.
Okay.
We really want to start putting into. We want to focus now on doing experiences.
Okay.
So
Something like the sushi rolling thing.
exactly.
That'd be
So
cool.
as opposed to just showing up places and just having the normal like whatever couple girls out there and handing out pre-rolls, we really want to focus on experience and having things like the sushi rolling station.
Absolutely.
or the-
People remember experiences.
exactly,
For
and that's
sure.
what it's about. Just like for her party, she had like those immersive experiences in there where like she had a real grandma and Grandma's Gumbo
That's
like, yelling
fucking
at
cool.
people.
Yeah,
and-
that's funny.
yeah, it was different.
Hell yeah, that's dope. I really like your guys' brand. You guys are super creative. I'm excited to see what you guys do in the next few years. But we appreciate your time. Where can the people find you on social media? Do you guys have a website?
Of course, man. Hit up MissScoops.com @MissScoops. That's where all the magic happens, man.
Perfect. Well, thank you for taking your time and energy out of your day. I think the people learned a lot about your brand today.
Thank you guys for having us. I really appreciate it. Shout out Green Rush Nation. Shout out Nothing But Fire. Shout out the guys. Thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Hey, we appreciate you coming out. Hey, that's it for today. Tell your mother, your brother, your sister, and please go like, subscribe, comment, interact with the podcast because it really does help us, and we really do appreciate you guys as we grow. But that's it, and we'll see you next time.
I just had the bluest dream that you've ever seen, and I can't believe that shit was green, cause it hit so clean, and my history is a mystery. I don't give a fuck, I just hit the tree on the 5th degree. We don't pit for free. If you don't got 5 shit, get up and leave.